What is up, everybody? Hopefully, everybody's heading to have a great Christmas, guys. If you guys are traveling, please be safe, guys. I know the roads are treacherous around here, guys. So if you guys are traveling, please keep water, blankets, and whatever else in your car, guys. That way, if something was to happen, you guys can stay warm until the tow truck gets there or whatever else may get there to actually take you guys to the destinations you guys actually are heading to. With that being said, guys, let's jump right into the video. Look, we actually have Moscow students of Idaho, the ones that was brutally stabbed, 4 students. Guys, do you really think it's one killer or do you think it's 2 killers? The car that they actually was looking at, they actually said was not involved in the killing, which I know a lot of us was actually hoping so, but it absolutely was not, guys. But I do got a video for you guys today. It's actually by Christna Randall once again. She actually is giving updates on the 4 students that was really stabbed in Moscow, Idaho. I'm actually going to add my updates as well to her video, guys. We're going to react to it. We're going to pause through. Afterwards, we're going to talk about it, guys. But first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe, channel is highly appreciated. And without further ado, guys, it is 100% free. Hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. It helps get our videos in an algorithm where we can grow more, guys. Sky's the limit for this channel. Guys, like I said, this is your channel. I'm the pilot. You guys are in control of the wings. Anyways, let's jump right to the video.
I wanted to update you on some of the stuff going on with the whole Idaho situation with the 4 Idaho students. And there has been some new stuff that's come out and some new video releases and stuff like that. And a lot of y'all have been asking me to give my opinion and react to it. So I'm going to. And I'm also going to tell y'all my theory and what I think happened here in the case.
Guys, first off, I'm going to pause this real quick. Let's go back on that, guys. Look at this house, guys. Does this house not look creepy anyways? Every time I've seen this house, every time I've looked at this house, every time I've studied this house, I've literally looked at this house like it was just a dollhouse kind of put together, guys. It's almost like this right here was just clamped to this, and it was said, hey, guys, let's move in. Let's make this a frat house, a fraternity house, which a frat is like right across the road from it, guys. There's like 3 or 4 of them right across the road from this house. This is the most sought out house off of, well, college campus. And it's a big house, guys. And it's a nice house, but it is just freaky looking to me. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Y'all, my theory and what I think happened here in the case, which to me just seems like it makes the most sense. So let's start off with the white car. So if you guys didn't see my first video where I told the story the best of my ability with the situation and the information that we have out there, I will put a card right up here, but you guys can also go to my playlist and watch that first if you want. But in there, I told y'all that the media / cops / investigators were looking for a white car. And since then, a white Hyundai was found stranded in Oregon over 750 miles away. These photos were kind of going viral and people were suspecting that this could be the car and it had something to do with the Idaho students. However, since then, Moscow police have said that this white Hyundai Elantra has been identified, and investigators spoke with the owner, and the vehicle involved a collision and was impounded. The vehicle is registered out of Colorado, and the female owner is not believed to have any relation to any property in Moscow, Idaho, or the ongoing investigation. But when you see this car stranded on the side of the road like this with no tag on it, I can see why people were alerted and started contacting the Moscow police. Because, I mean, come on. I mean, it looks like it has just been in some mess and left on the side of the road. However, false alarm for this car, but the cops are allegedly still trying to identify the car that sped down the road the night of the nightmare at the college student's home. I was never thinking like, oh, this is a big clue, this is a car, because it was the car caught on camera driving by in the wee hours of the.
And I know a lot of us was hoping that car in Oregon was actually tied into the murder, guys. I even made a video of that, guys. I was so hopeful for that, guys, because we have absolutely no murder weapon. We have no suspect. We have no DNA. We absolutely have nothing in this case, guys. So when is this case going to take it? I mean, we have actually coroners and coroners going on to tell families how brutal this crime scene was. We now heard the bodies was stacked on top of each other. We now heard the heart and the liver and the lungs was actually punctured by a knife. We now heard that the knife has went through the rib cage. Guys, half of this stuff has not even come from the police. That is the scary part. If you guys watch my video of Dolly Vision, he has a video. He watches a video that someone sent him, and that guy goes into detail like he was actually at the crime scene at the time. If you guys haven't seen that, go to my channel and watch the Dolly Vision video. It is totally crazy, guys. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
The morning on the night the Idaho students lost their lives. I am convinced still, you guys, somebody walked there, went in that back sliding glass door. And let me tell y'all, I know we're all looking at all these videos. I know that we're looking at the video from the food truck and now the new video that's come out of the 3 girls walking, talking about Adam, which was allegedly the bartender. I'm going to show y'all that video if y'all haven't seen it here in just a second. But I am just convinced it is somebody in that area. And it irritates me because they came out and said that they didn't have a suspect, which I have believed that they have to have somebody in mind. But now I'm starting to wonder if they do. In my opinion, they need to come out and say everybody is a suspect. Everybody in that town is a suspect until they're not anymore. Like this whole, like, we don't have a suspect. I'm still hoping deep down in my gut, I'm hoping that they're only saying that a way they can continue to follow leads on the person that they think it is. But if they really don't have a suspect and they're coming out and saying that, that sounds so dumb to me. Okay, as a very unprofessional person sitting on a stool in her kitchen in front of a Christmas tree. Like, I'm nobody. But I'm just saying, like, everybody needs to be a suspect. There was a statement released by the Corner Club owner, Mark, trivial piece. And he allegedly made a statement in an email referring to the media presence that is in Moscow right now. And he said, "We cannot wait for these vultures to leave so we, as a community, can begin to heal. They are disrupting that process and are not welcome." And I am so sorry to you, Mark. I understand that that is probably annoying to have all the media presence, but like, how are y'all going to even begin to heal until you find out who did this to these 4 students in your town? There is still literally a killer loose in your very small town of 26,000 people, and almost half of that being college students that's come in from out of town. And y'all want the media to leave so you can get back to life? I'm trying to...
Not only that, guys, we have YouTubers there right now that is going in windows, sticking cameras inside of windows, going on inside of the frats, trespassing on frat property to take videos, to take, oh, actually, pictures of the frat fraternities, guys. It's absolutely crazy. And he's just driving around, just filming anything and everything he can in Moscow, Idaho for views. Which, hey, I'm not knocking what you're doing, but please be a little bit more responsible with your photos and who you actually stick your camera through. I've seen one picture of his. He didn't even ask the bartender for permission to take a picture. You can tell he just took the picture unwillingly, not unwillingly, but without the bartender even knowing he actually took a picture. On top of that, guys, we actually have people around this town who's actually, they got to be still scared, guys. We have, the cops said the town was in no danger. There's 4 students that was brutally murdered, brutally stabbed. How is the town not in danger? And they went on to actually change their wording, change their thoughts about, well, maybe we do need to say, hey, lock your doors. Well, of course, lock your doors. That's what you're supposed to do anyways. But it goes on to say that the girls' back patio doors on the 2nd floor was not locked. But then again, there's word that actually the killer was actually already inside the house. So which one is it here? We don't know because nobody has come forward with any other evidence or even talked to us about what has actually went on in this murder case, because they absolutely know nothing. Now, is that wrong, guys? We should know something in the month that it's been since these college students was brutally murdered, brutally stabbed. We don't even know the escape route of the killer. We can't even find the car that was actually up above the house that was spotted speeding by. We can't even catch that. But Moscow, Idaho Police Department says they absolutely need no help because there's 92 years amongst them when it comes to investigations. I'm saying you guys do need help. And I'm not saying that because I think you guys are incapable of the job. I think it's out of your touch. I think it's too big for you. That's my opinion. Call in the FBI. Anyways, guys, that's just my thought. Anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
Understand, like, because I know that you got a business that you want to run and you probably have kids and it's probably annoying. But would be even more frustrating and annoying is that there's somebody that's in your community that is a murderer and somebody else could be next. Or that person could be, handing your child their milk at school, or that person could be working for you, or that person could be driving an Uber and picking up a family member or a loved one when they need a ride. Like, in my opinion, the media would be the least of my worries, and figuring out who did this would be the number one thing I'd be worried about. Now, getting back to me believing, and again, I'm no professional. I have no inside information. This is just a feeling, and feelings come and go, right? I may feel thirsty one minute, and I may feel angry the next, and I may feel happy the next minute. It's just the feeling. But I have a feeling it is somebody in that area. They walked to that house and went in that back sliding glass door. I believe the person was watching these girls online, possibly Kaylee, because Kaylee wasn't even living in that house anymore. She was graduating and she had left. She had just came back that weekend to spend the weekend with her friend and see other people there that she went to school with. And it just happened to be on this weekend. Now, mind you, another reason why I don't believe it's just random is because whoever went into this house, in my opinion, they had to have, there was no cameras in that surrounding area.
So it's almost like they was waiting. They knew Kaylee was there. They stalked out the house. They found out the layout of the house. Maybe they was in there before. Maybe they was actually at a party before. Guys, there's so much DNA inside this house that it would be like a swab of a bus station. That's what it would probably be like. I know that's actually reaching out there, but hey, it's quite a bit. There'd be a lot of DNA inside this house. As we know, the party house is a frat house. When the cops come there, the cops actually ask, hey, what fraternity do these girls belong to? And the guys reply, I don't think they belong to any fraternity. And the cops go on to say, I guarantee you they belong to a fraternity. So that's actually in the body cam footage of the cops getting called to the house for a quote unquote noise complaint. Now, as far as Kaylee goes, well, could it be because she was at home? It's almost like the killer timed the time of Kaylee being home. That's scary. Because they knew Kaylee was home, because Kaylee was targeted as well as all the rest of them. Anyways, so I wonder what the cops are doing with this whole case. I wonder how they're going about this whole case. Are they looking at it in are they actually reaching out to people who specializes in mental health to go after this killer, to kind of ask questions about the health of this killer that could actually help them lead to the killer as well? But now we know that they actually got into a mind of a murderer who was actually on death row. And they actually asked him, was the killer inside the house? Do you think the killer was inside the house? They let him know everything that happened. And the killer said 100% the killer was already inside the house. Now, again, that is just speculations, guys, from a killer on death row that the FBI actually went to talk to and ask him questions to get inside his head to kind of give them a point of which way to go with this case, because we absolutely have no case. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
area that could have caught it. So this person knew that, which makes me believe it's somebody that lives in that area or has been around there. And they were following Kaylee or whoever, one of them on social media, and was watching them, knew that she was in town, and went in that sliding glass door late that night, just happened to be after she got home, probably hadn't been in that house before, or maybe had and didn't know where she was or whatever, and took a wrong turn and went into the room with the couple at first. And somebody woke up and they seen him, and he had to feel like he did what he did there, and then went on to find her and found her in the room in the same exact bed with her best friend, Maddie. And that's what allegedly happened, was Maddie and Kaylee were in the same room, in the same bed. And I believe that's what happened. And maybe this person was planning on going in and assaulting somebody and ended up feeling like they had to just do what he did to the first two, and then it was on and popping from there. But I don't believe that this was random. I don't believe somebody drove into that neighborhood. Somebody walked there, whether it be they walked 3 miles, which I don't think so, because there's no cameras. I don't think with anybody randomly walking with like a hoodie on or something, or somebody walked from their home and knew if they went in the back, they would not be seen. I just don't understand how everybody's not a suspect. Everybody should be a suspect right now. And I would be infuriated if I lived in that town and there was no answers. Somebody knew that house. Somebody knew there was no cameras there. What are the chances that somebody random would have just happened to go into a house just randomly with 4 people with no cameras, nobody saw anything, with no cell phones pinging, and just happened to have drove somewhere and then walked, and then just happened to have gone in somewhere where a door was open because there was no signs of a break-in? It's not possible. Somebody knew them, somebody knew the area, and I believe somebody is sitting there watching all of this and is just more and more happy every time the media or the police say that they don't have a suspect. It's gross. And I actually think this person's probably going to do this again, because when somebody does a crime like this and they get away with it, it's like they get a rush. It may not be immediate, but like, look at the Golden State Killer. His situations and the crimes that he committed was over decades. And sometimes it was one right after another, and sometimes it was 10 years in between. Same thing with, Jeffrey Dahmer. That's these people, the first time they have these incidences, they get this rush. I don't know. That's my thoughts on it. Now let's watch the video of the girls walking.
What did you say to Adam? I told Adam. What did you say to Adam? I told Adam.
But guys, now if you go on further to another video of this audio where it shows, where actually you can hear the guy talking at the front of that video, it goes on to say, listen, it seems like the guy is saying, Maddie, they're gonna get you guys for this. And then the friend goes on to say, Maddie, what'd you tell Adam? Like, she was almost answering the question that the guy was actually asking her. So then Kylie goes on to actually ask Maddie, what'd you say to Adam? Which Adam is actually supposedly the bartender. But I went on to say, I wonder if Adam could be like a code name for somebody, guys. Because a lot of times, and that's just a speculation, because a lot of times women will actually have code names for things, especially in fraternities and frats. That way you're not saying the real name of somebody, because just like when the cops came to Maddie and them's house, they asked the kids that was there partying, or did they belong to a fraternity? Talking about Kylie and Maddie, and the kids answered, no, they do not. When they knew damn good and well that they did. That's just a cover-up, guys. So a lot of times we have special names for things, we have code names for things, and is Adam a code name, or is it actually the bartender, guys? That's a good question. Because if that's the case, we'll never know who Adam is just by saying Adam. It could be a code name for somebody totally different. We go on to actually see people wearing ski masks. actually throw guys, there's all kinds of weird stuff going on with this case. And we actually go on to speculate about water usage. In that town, you can actually tell what water is being used, what at what time. So as the cops went on and actually looked at that, to see who was taking a shower around that same time period. Is the killer even in Moscow, Idaho still? Is the killer in the United States? And is the killer still in America itself, United States itself? It's a good question, guys. Anyways, let's jump right back to the video.
Now, people are really listening to this and picking this apart. This was allegedly the girls leaving, the pub. And one of the girls said to the other one, "What did you tell Adam?" And then the other one said, "I told Adam everything." It has later come out that Adam is the bartender. That conversation could have been about anything. I don't think that's anything. Again, like I just said, I think somebody was watching them on their social media, knew she was in town for whatever reason, maybe had been obsessing over Kaylee. And I hate to really say it was her, because I hope that the other parents don't feel like it was one of the students' fault that the other students lost their lives. It was the person that did it's fault. That's it, point blank, period. But maybe this person was obsessing over one of them, maybe Kaylee, and maybe wanted to assault or do something, but then lost their chance because she moved out, and then saw that she was back in town and came to finish it, or to fulfill that fantasy that person had. I don't know. I just think it was somebody in that area. And if I was in that town, I would not be able to sleep until this person was caught. And I've thought about this a lot. Our oldest son, Jordan, he did go to college at FSU for a bit, and now he's in the military. But if he was at this school, especially in such a small town, you're not talking about Atlanta or LA, where it's millions and millions and millions of people, right? We're talking about a very small town. I would be really trying to talk my son into coming home and switching schools. I would not be okay with him being there. And that's just my personal opinion. It's so scary to know that there's somebody on the loose that did this. And they're probably watching everything.
And guys, I totally agree with her. I think the killer was outside stalking this house for a while. The wooded area, no blinds on the doors. Teenage women in college, adults, young adults in college. Girls do what they do in their rooms, guys. Again, no blinds. Guys, it was going on to say that people could actually see from the other apartments in through their windows of their front room and their bedroom up on the 3rd floor. That is absolutely disgusting, guys. And there's people out there to actually do that. But I think the killer was actually stalking them for a while. And then Kaylee come home and he actually, just took that opportunity and did what he needed to do. Well, what he thought he needed to do. And I hope the person is caught and locked, throw away the key, and they never see the light of day. It's time for the cops to actually find something in this case, guys. Again, we have no murder weapon. We have no DNA. We have no bloody clothes. We have no blood. We have absolutely nothing to go off of, guys. It is a sad day, guys. But you know what? Hopefully it comes to an end soon for these college students. And the person is locked away forever. Anyways, I'm going to jump out of here, guys. But first, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe, channels highly appreciated. Go check out channels, a lot more where that come from, guys. Your boy Deuces. I'm out. Thank you, guys.